Mr. West will be receiving from the south end zone.
6:23 left to go here in the first. Glad you're with us here on a10varsity.com. We have the Jaguars and the Vikings. Jaguars just marched it down the field, punched it in for the first points on the evening. You see Coach Joel Appleby out at around the 22-yard line, talking to the White Hat, trying to make his case, I believe. A little confusion, a little consternation there on the sideline. Hey, and there we go. We are back with you here. Live on a10varsity.com. The point extra, the point after attempt for the extra point. Forthcoming. Not sure what the discussion was down there. The officials trying to get, trying to get a couple of things sorted out yet. That was a bottle of water that maybe got thrown in the end zone there, David Trimble.
I couldn't really tell from here. I'm not sure if there was a penalty and they're marking half the distance, but there was definitely a little bit of a discussion. It looks like we're all set to go now.
So we see Kenton Lohman, 6'3" junior, on for the kicking duties. The kick is up, and it is good. Make it 7-0 at this 6:23 left to play mark. Here in the first quarter, you were watching it live from the swamp in western Shawnee, Kansas, right here on a10varsity.com. Back with you here. The kickoff by Mill Valley, back deep for the Vikings. Going to take it around the 5-yard line. Punches it to about the 15, and he is tripped up by number 11. I believe that was Mark Bauer, the 6'1" senior defensive back, doing some great special teams work there. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Vikings. The Vikings came out that first quarter. They put together a few nice plays, got a couple of first downs, but that was just about it, David.
Yeah, they came out and ran 4 runs and 2 passing plays. They picked up 1 first down. And like I was saying earlier, Coach really wants to get the running game established, but then try and get something going through the air.
High formation, fullback right behind, going to be a handoff to the I-back, goes around to the right side. Got a little bit of a hole. Scurries out of bounds, maybe a gain of about 4. Mark it down, 2nd, and we'll say about 6 to go. Ball's going to be just shy of the 18-yard line. All right, not exactly a favorable spot for the Vikings. Going to bring up 2nd and about 9. Nice run there to the right side again by Shawn Mitchell. He covered a lot of ground, but it mostly east and west, not enough north-south there to get any real yardage. Twins to the near side. Fullback, I-back, immediately behind Norwood. Norwood takes the snap, going to hand it off again. Play's going to be blown dead. Looks like the offense might have got just a little bit happy feet.
And I'm not sure if that was Shawn Mitchell trying to, he was the motion man and trying to get downfield as fast as he could. Excuse me, that was Aaron Hernandez, the man in motion on that one, so that's going to bring him back a little bit.
6:12 left to play here in the first. 7-0 is your score. 2nd and 12 for the Vikings, deep in their own territory. In fact, it's in the Mill Valley red zone, if you will. Twin receivers to the near side. I formation, fullback, offset I. They're going to hand it on now. In fact, it's going to be Norwood. He's trying to get it, but he is brought down for another loss. Back-to-back big plays by this Jaguar defense. And that just turned 2nd and 13 into 3rd and forever right now. Ball's going to be spotted all the way back at the 10-yard line. Vikings have to get it beyond the 25, 26-yard line for a new set of downs.
And I think that might have been big nose tackle Spencer Vaca breaking through that line there and making that tackle in the backfield.
You know, and Vaca, he's all at 250, 6'2". He's a big boy, but he's got great feet underneath him. He's already picking up some offers from some schools, and I'm sure going to be adding more to that before the season's over. A big 3rd down and 16 for the Vikings. A little handoff. And for 3 consecutive plays now, the defense of Mill Valley has done nothing but push the Vikings back, and now it's going to be 4th down from inside their own 10-yard line.
And I couldn't quite catch who that was on the tackle, but he definitely put a pretty good hurt on him. He met him with authority.
I believe, is that Mr. Dahlstrom back there doing the punting duties? Good clean snap. Punt is away. It's going to be fielded at around the 38. Ball hit the turf. Picked it back up. He's got a little bit of room. 25 down to the 20. He has stood up at around the 22-yard line. But the Jaguars are going to have great field position just a yard and a half outside of the red zone. Going to have 1st and 10 from the 21 and a half. With 4:35 left in the first quarter, Mill Valley with a great opportunity to try to increase their lead to 2 scores.
And Coach would definitely like to have the down men a little bit more prepared on that one. He was able to make a couple nifty moves and get in well into the Viking territory.
Quarterback Hayden J. Single back set, twin receivers to the near, single to the far. Ty Marsh gets ready to get it back to Jay. Jay wants to pass. He's got a receiver over the middle, and it looked like it was tipped. That might have been tipped by big number 55. I think that was number 55, or was that 59? Jack Leon. Let's make this clear right now. If it's Jack Leon, and I said that correctly, my name is Sean Brewer. But if it's incorrect, and for every other mispronunciation, my name is David Trimble. Hayden J takes the snap, looks over to the right side. He's got a receiver and pulled out of bounds. Nice tackle there. That was number 16 for the Vikings, Monty Evans, but not before Hayes Miller, who had a big opening week for the Jaguars. Down the road, down K10, or I beg your pardon, K7. The Ravens of Northwest. Hayes Miller had kind of a coming out party, the big 6'3" senior handoff. Now they're going to keep, Jay's going to keep it himself. He gets stood up. He does get the 1st down, but he is taking an entire ship of Vikings with him all the way down to about the 6-yard line. 1st and goal, Mill Valley.
And he was absolutely churning those feet, and they just could not bring him down.
Like me at the buffet earlier today. It's a whole other deal. 4:14 left to play here in the first. 7-0 Jaguar lead. Looking to extend that lead right now. 1st and goal. Single back set is Baker, just to the right. Kind of the hip pocket of Jay, but Jay's going to keep it himself. Screen to the right. He's got a receiver in the corner of the end zone. Just out of reach. He tried to get it to Hayes Miller, but Hayes, even with his 6'3" frame, couldn't extend quite far enough to bring that reception in. It's going to bring up 2nd and goal from about, I'm going to say, about the 6-yard line.
I would concur. It looks like it's about the 6-yard line, and let's see if they go back to the run game. It has been working for them.
Out to the right of Jay is Baker. And Baker's going to get the handoff, go to the left side, and he punches his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Mill Valley. Tristan Shakin Baker with his first 6 of the night.
And do not adjust your television, folks. That is the flashing of the stadium lights that they do here at Mill Valley Stadium.
No, I thought that was just me that saw the flashing lights.
Do you taste copper? Because that's a problem.
You know,
otherwise, it's just the celebration.
Am I the only one that hears the voices in my head?
Answering back is the problem, though.
Very well. Getting Lawman on for the extra point attempt. Trying to make it 14-0. Kick is up, and the kick is good. 3:50 left to go here in the first quarter. Your defending 5A state champion Mill Valley Jaguars are up over the Vikings of Shawnee Mission West 14-0, and you're watching it live on a10varsity.com. $14-0 is your score. 3:50 left to play here in the first quarter. We're at the Swamp here in beautiful Shawnee, Kansas. Glad you're with us this evening. Mill Valley comes in with an unblemished record of 1-0 after a 44-0 thumping of the Ravens out of Olathe Northwest. These Vikings came in. They hit a buzzsaw and a half against Shawnee Mission Northwest last week, David Trimble, and I think they had a total of about 17 total yards on offense.
Yeah, they need to get a little bit of something going here as we got Noah Gunyon and Brandon Wilson back.
Noah Gunyon, the brother, of course, of the other Gunyon, as he takes it around the 10, but he is brought down all the way back at the 10-yard line. And once again, the Vikings are going to have horrible field position to start their third drive of this contest.
They are very consistent at getting the ball at the 11-yard line.
Indeed they are. Iverson Norwood in for the injured John Rader. And we'll see if big number 99, Cortez Velasco, lines up in the tight end position. Now, Cortez Velasco is someone that I watched quite a bit last year, kind of an unheralded sophomore at the time, but he could absolutely move some linemen. Not exactly a small fella at 6'2", 250. Norwood under center. Two back set, two receivers to the far side, handoff to the fullback. No spider, too wide banana, but maybe a half a yard if we're being generous. There's just nothing doing right there. You know, I know you had a chance to talk with the longtime coach of the Vikings this week, David, and I know he talked a little bit about trying to get this offense going.
Absolutely, and he was saying that he and the other assistant coaches have to be patient because they have only 8 seniors returning, 21 juniors, 25 sophomores.
As we see on the far side, I think they probably brought, I don't know, maybe about 40 athletes, and they're not going to get that one off. Play clock's down to 0. And indeed, they will get penalized for that. Half the distance on that one. It was 2nd and 10. Now it's going to bring up 2nd and about, 14? Maybe 15, to be generous.
I think that's a 5-yard penalty for 15. And last week in their opener, 32 athletes made their high school football debut for Shawnee Mission West.
Norwood hands it off again, and I believe that was Shawn Mitchell who got the call. And he answered the call, but he was met by that fearsome foursome of this Mill Valley defense. As the aforementioned Spencer Vaca and Truman Griffin, they plugged up the hole in the middle. Grant Rudkowski got in on the action there as well. Corners haven't seen a lot of activity yet. Had a couple early passes by the Vikings, but since that time, it's been really pound on the ground. But they found themselves on the ground quite a bit thanks to the defensive front of Mill Valley. 3rd and a long 15 now for the Vikings. Receiver at the top and bottom. Looks like there's a little question on the far side, or maybe we have a timeout. Indeed we do. Timeout Vikings, 2:05 left to play here in the first. We're at the Swamp.
$60 young ladies out there getting their reps in on the cheer squad. Maybe in a few years they will be out there in the full blue uniform.
16-0 is your score. 2 minutes left here in the first. Perfect time right now to wish a couple of birthday wishes. Linda Roth, big supporter of A10 Varsity, turning 61 years young today. Happy birthday, Linda Roth. And David Smith, happy 67th birthday, my friend David Smith. Hope you're back in the booth with us soon. Kind of a little squabbler kick all the way back to the 40. And the return man, I believe that was number 14, Preston Oliver, in his big frame, brings it out into Viking territory. They're going to bring him down around the 44-yard line, 43, and once again, Jaguars are going to start their drive in excellent field position with 1:54 left to play here in the first.
Yes, they had the ball at the 45 of the Vikings, but then a penalty took them back to the 31, their own. And then the next two drives have started in the positive at the 22 and the 43-yard line of the Vikings.
Breaking the huddle now. We'll see what Hayden Jay and his Jaguar offense have in store for us here on their fourth drive of this first quarter. Bunch formation on the left side. Empty backfield. Hayden Jay takes a step back. He's got a receiver on the right side. All the way up to the 30, 29. Finally pushed out of bounds. Going to be good for a first down. That was number 19, Hayes Miller, getting it done for this Jaguar offense. That's his second reception on the day. So we said picking up where he left off last week in Olathe. The Jaguars did battle against the Ravens. 139, 138 left to play here in the first. Sidney Lockhart into the game now. Boy, is he fast. Look at him trying to turn the corner. He turned on the Jets. Broke a couple ankles over there around the 20-yard line. See what yeah, there we go. He was out of bounds. Clock does stop. 1:27, 1st and 10. So we see the chains move. Coaches here on the near side for the Jaguars. Very animated as usual. Hayden Jay over here. He's asking for a little clarification. The flanker now. Lockhart still in the game. Hayden Jay wants to throw. He's going to keep it himself now. To the 20, 15, down to the 10, 5. Hayden Jay, touchdown. Touchdown, Hayden Jay, Mill Valley.
And it started off as a run. Or no, it looked like it started off as a pass. He didn't like what he saw. So he tucked it down and said, I will do it myself, and he was able to make it into the corner of that end zone.
22-0, pending the extra point. We are still in the first quarter, friends. 1:17 left to play. Student section is on their feet here in Western Shawnee. Kick is up and it's good. 22 turns into 23. 1:17 left to play here in the first. And it has been all Jaguars, and you are watching it live on a10varsity.com. Look at that great camera work by the one and only Jeff Broadbent. High atop the press box here, Mill Valley High School. Beautiful evening for football. It's about 83, cool, kind of a light breeze, I'd say, out of the southeast. Coming back towards us here in the press box. Feels nice.
I don't want to call you a liar, Sean, but the flag is absolutely at a standstill, hanging straight down. So I'm not sure if I feel that wind.
Well, the flags, sometimes they make them out of lead, from what I understand, back in the 1800s when they didn't have fabric. They just they used lead flags.
A Susan B. Anthony flag.
Indeed it was. Kick's going to be fielded at the 5-10, gets it out to the 15, but he is chased by the Jaguars. He's going the wrong way, but turns the corner, finally gets pushed out of bounds at around the, I'd say, 17-yard line. But once again, Vikings are going to have it 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. 1:09 left to play here in the first.
Noah Gunyon trying to get around the outside, but more importantly, improving their starting field position. This one's good. Looks like it's going to be marked at the 17, and they had, like I said before, they had been consistently starting at their own 11.
First and 10 Vikings. Iverson, Norwood under center. Twin receivers to the far side. Two back sets, going to be handed off to Shawnee Mitchell. And Mr. Mitchell is going to be, he is absolutely going to be feeling those hits tomorrow morning when they open the training table over at Shawnee Mission West. Hats off to that young man, just 5'11", 180, just a sophomore. Kind of waiting to see when we're going to see Chris Wade, watching Chris Wade warm up. Say that 10 times, Chris Wade warm up. He is certainly one of the fastest Vikings out here on the field. Norwood under center, 2nd and 9. 1 yard gain on that last carry. Fullback handoff, maybe give him another. They're going to say the ball is on the ground. Mill Valley thinks they have it. Wait for a signal, and they do. 1st and 10, Mill Valley from right at the 20-yard line. Trying to get confirmation on who came up with that. There was certainly a scrum there after the very short gain by the Vikings. And the second big turnover by the Jaguars here in the first quarter. 20 seconds left to play. 23-0 is your score. And the Vikings are just coming up zeros. They cannot make any progress on offense, and they're having a heck of a time slowing down this vaunted offense of Mill Valley. Lockhart, single back. Now to the left of Jay. Jay waits for the snap, gets it to Lockhart. Or I beg your pardon, that's a Marion Graves. And Graves brings it all the way down to the 5, maybe 6 yard line. That's going to make it 1st and goal, Mill Valley. 14 seconds left here in the first.
Picking up their 5th first down of this first quarter. And they're doing it both ways, through the air and on the ground.
1st and goal, but they're not going to be able to get it off. And we are done with 1 quarter of play here at the Swamp. Mill Valley, 23. Shawnee Mission West, 0. But Mill Valley is knocking on the door of the goal line once again. And we're going to get right back to that drive after these messages live on a10varsity.com. .23-0 is your score. Start of the second quarter. Flipping the ends of the field now. The Jaguars going from your right to left on the screen. Hand off. This one's to Marion Graves. He gets stood up a little bit. And a little extra there. I think some of the Mill Valley faithful thought a little extra curriculars there after the play. Of course, when they're up 23-0, probably not going to get a lot of those calls, but hey.
And that was our man, Cortez Velasco, on the stop there. He does it well on both sides of the field. The ball.
Well, technically, I guess it would be on both sides of the field, depending on who has the ball. But another handoff, this to Graves. And Graves is such a strong runner. We see a little bit of, I think, is that Laundry on the field, or is that maybe somebody? Yeah, it was. No, I don't think they're playing cornhole out there, but oh, a little face mask. That's going to go against the Vikings, just what they don't need. And that's going to make this 3rd and 3 magically turn into Should be a 1st and goal or right there close to it with the half the distance penalty. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1. Just over 11 to play before halftime here at the Swamp. Viking front 5 trying to do whatever they can to slow down this offensive attack. Hayden Jay and American Gray's a little miscommunication there, but Jay tries to make something out of nothing. He does. Hayden Jay gets it in for another touchdown. Touchdown, Mill Valley.
And now you can see the lights a little bit better now that it's gotten a little bit darker out there. 10:53 to go in this first half.
What lights are we talking about here? Do you know that I'm colorblind, David?
These are white lights, Sean.
White? All right. I am white-black colorblind, so that would explain it. And explain the result of that kick. It is good. Makes it 29, correction, 30 to 0 with 10:53 left to play here in the second quarter. Talking to a Viking fan here before the game and kind of try to get a sense out of what they thought. And only comment they made is, we'll probably have a running clock before halftime. And I said, well, I don't think that's going to be the case, but I don't know, rather a fortuitous prediction there.
It looks like it might be possible, but one thing you got to give these Vikings is that they are a driven group of young men. They came out, coach said that they came out and they were ready and willing to practice and learn after the little bit of a lopsided game last week, and knowing that they're coming into the defending state champions this week. But the boys were absolutely in there. They were eager and driven, ready to go.
And they were driven over here to the game by the great people with the bus company. I believe that's Abernathy Bus Lines that brought them over here from Shawnee Mission West.
Shawnee Mission School District uses Kincaid.
Kincaid. I believe that's the new name, for the Abernathys. Shout out to Abernathy Cinnamon Company. 10:53 left before halftime. Back deep, right at the goal line. That's where it's going to be taking it. And they're going to go ahead and give him a touchback. A little premature notification there by the white hat. And because of that touchback, I believe this is going to be the best field position the Vikings have had since their first drive of this contest.
It is by about 7 yards. They've started on their own 11, 11, and 17.
Add those together, and you get the number of yards that Mill Valley held Olathe Northwest to through the air last week. How about that? Quick maths.
Crazy how those just look like that.
How I can come up with that just out of thin air is just pretty remarkable. 1st and 10 for the Vikings from the 20-yard line, their own 20. Twin receivers to the near. 2 back set, 2 tight ends. Iverson Norwood takes the snap. A little misdirection there. And let's see. Once again, if my markings and chicken scratches are accurate, that now is the 7th straight play of negative yardage by this Viking team.
And looked like that was number 22, Evan Seifert, on that tackle there.
You say Seifert or Seifert, I say Seifert. When Mrs. Seifert hears you say Seifert, she's going to hunt you down, David Trimble.
I welcome her to come up and join us on the 810 varsity broadcast.
10:09, 10:08 left here before halftime. Hand off. Got a new tailback in there for the Vikings. Let's see who that was. Looks like number 32. Was that?
I think it was.
Or it could have been 32.
24. I think it was number 24, Glorious Robinson.
Glorious Robinson, part of the all-name team. Reminds me when we were out doing the Rockhurst and Ray-Peg game a couple of weeks ago for 810 varsity, and on 810 WHB you heard us live there, but we had a a player that was one of the most active players on that defense for Rapec. The last name being?
Flipper
Fisher. That's exactly
Flipper
right.
Fisher.
Handoff out the middle, and look out. That's number 18, Brock Worcester, the 6'1", 210 senior, younger brother of Trey, one of the Mill Valley greats of yesteryear. But Brock Worcester, he made, I think I felt that all the way up here.
That was quite the contact. He met him. They tried to do a quick handoff, see if they can catch him off guard, and they cannot.
Not so fast, my friend, did Brock Worcester say to the running back. And the kick now. This one's a little bit better than the last. Fielded around the 45, down to the 40. Little shake and bake. And I think the whole scrum is going to push forward to around the 39-yard line. 35-yard line, beg your pardon. And once again, bears mentioning that Mill Valley has yet to start a drive in their own territory today. I beg your pardon. There was one drive started from the 43, I believe.
Their very first drive started at the 45, but then a penalty took them back to their own 31-yard line.
Their own 31. Hayden J. Tristan Shaken Baker right behind him. Twin receivers to the far, single to the near. 1st and 10 Jaguars. Hayden J. under a little bit of pressure, and they're going to bring him down. Guess who? Big number 99. Guess who that was? Cortez Velasco. And folks, he's just a junior. If you like to watch kind of that trench warfare of good line play, this is a big boy. He's 250 pounds, 6'2", but I tell you what, he has got absolutely fantastic hands and fantastic feet because he can move around, and that certainly helped get him to the quarterback. Hayden J. trying to make up for it here on this one. Nice strike out there to 31. That is Andy Watts. First reception of the game for Mr. Watts. He's just a sophomore, but the coaches really like what he brings to this team. 5'8", 153, but he is a slicer and a dicer for this Jaguar offense.
And he was showing the speed to get out there and get open into the open space, and he's able to pick up the first down. Their 6th of this first half.
6th first down for the Jaguars. Currently up 30-0, just outside of the red zone. 1st and 10. Jay takes a snap, hands it off to Baker, and he's got a little bit of room, but he is stood up around the 20-yard line. Nice gain of about 5. Going to bring up 2nd and 5 from just inside the 20-yard line. Looks like the official scorekeeper is wrong. It should be 2nd and 5, but hey. All in fun, of course. Folks up here in the press box doing a great job. 2nd and 6 from the 20 for the Jaguars. 7:06, 7:05, ticking away before halftime. Hayden J. Baker to the left. J. takes a snap, rolls out to his left. He has all kinds of time. A little indecisive there. He cuts it back to the right, and he is going to get knocked down for maybe a gain of 1. I think he covered about, 30 yards on that scamper for a net gain of 1, but we see a little bit of laundry there on the field.
And you've got to credit Chris Wade back there, John Rader. He had to tuck that ball back down because he did not see anything that he liked coverage-wise down the field. So the Vikings have got to be happy about the coverage on that one and forcing him to pull that one down. And let's just hope that the penalty does not erase their hard effort.
If you're a Jaguar fan, that is. Well, we'll go against the Jaguars. It's going to back them up just a little bit. The old John Makovic hand signal back, let's say circa...
I believe that was a helmet-to-helmet contact, judging by the distance that they took that one back.
Little known fact, John Makovic, former coach of the Chiefs. Used to be part owner in a little coffee shop down on the plaza. 2nd and 26 from the 41 of the Vikings from Mill Valley. Single back set, 2 receivers to the far, 1 to the near. Hayden J. under pressure, He dumps it off to Tristan Baker. He's got a little bit of room. He pulls it down, he's pulled down around the 31-yard line. Nice, sure tackle there by the defense of the Vikings.
And I think that was number 40, Jalen Williams, the 5'11", 210 senior who was giving chase. And he was out for blood on that one.
Be interesting to see, as we're watching that trench warfare down there on the left side of the offensive line. I think there might have been a little miscommunication on that one to lead or basically open the door for the defensive lineman. So come on into the backfield, and I think Hayden Jay is going to have to take a timeout as the play clock was all the way down to 0. So they're going to take a little respite here, and we're going to do the same. 30-0 is your score. 5:36 left to play before halftime. Jaguars in control in the Swamp. Third and 16 for the Jaguars. 5:36 left before halftime. We see the teams get back on the field. We're going to have some scoring updates for you at the conclusion of this drive. But right now, Jaguars have to get 16 yards to keep this drive alive. But you also kind of got to think, based on field position, this probably is 4-down territory.
You would think so, because if they are able to get anywhere close.
Hayden Jay finds a wide open Andy Watts, and I think Watts kind of had a hard time stopping himself. I thought he was going to continue the route, but then saw that pass coming in and did his best job to basically stop in midair. I like that Chris Paul commercial where he's jumping up there and suspended in air.
He had to kind of try and contort his body a little bit. That pass just a little bit behind him, and he wasn't able to bring that one in, bringing up 4th down.
Contort. We've had the word contort. If you had that on your A-10 varsity bingo, congratulations. 4th down for the Jaguars. They're going to go for it. Hayden Jay wants to throw. He's got a receiver down the left side. And how about that catch? Preston Oliver using every inch of that 6'4" frame to bring it in. And they're going to say he was down at right around the 1-yard line, but what a great effort by Preston Oliver. You almost want to say give him the 6.
And the official in the center of the field, he marked touchdown. They must have deferred to the sideline and marked him down at the 1. A fantastic catch and throw. Nonetheless, where they mark him down.
And they're going to reset the play clock. I think there was a little miscommunication there. Of course, the officials here, we got an injured player, injured Viking on the far side. Hopefully he's all right, but see if our expert videographer for the top of the press box, Jeff Broadbent, can get a nice picture of that harvest moon. And boy, what a beautiful shot that is up there on the horizon. Look at that camera work. As we see him zoom in there, my goodness, just reach out and grab that big old hunk of cheese in the sky right behind the light pole. What timing is that? Right behind the light pole.
I don't think you could have timed it any better.
Well, I've got some pretty bad timing. We have a little bit long. Well, we see the injured Viking over in the end zone. He was able to set up under his own power. It gives us a chance now to bring you up to speed on a few area scores. David Trimble, if I said that the Stags of Bishop Miege were leading the Timberwolves of Blue Valley Southwest, you would say?
That's a false statement.
That is a true statement. Bishop Miege 21, Blue Valley Southwest 0. Blue Valley Tigers and the Thunder out of St. James. And one of the the highlight games of this week, Blue Valley 21, St. James 7. All these scores, of course, brought to you by e10varsity.com, your leader in high school sports throughout the Kansas City metro area. Blue Valley West up by 7 over Blue Valley North, 7-0. That's just before halftime. St. Thomas Aquinas 14. Blue Valley Northwest, the defending 6A champs, 7. Of course, St. Thomas Aquinas and Bishop Miege and St. James, all three schools now in Class 4A after they did a little adjusting on the, what do you call it? What's that word? Starts with an A. Attendance. Attendance or the registered kids. What do they call that? The registration, I don't know.
For the different school districts, I think they do just call it the registration numbers is what they go by generally.
Fair enough. Gardner-Edgerton 21. The Raiders of Shawnee Mission South 0. Right here at Jaguar Stadium. 5:27 left before halftime. 30-0 is your score. But the Jaguars are just a few inches away from putting up another 6 and maybe 7. And the Vikings, I think the Vikings didn't have the right personnel on the field. The entire coaching staff over there was out on the field hoping to get that timeout before the ball was snapped. They did, of course. Give you a couple other scoring updates. Shawnee Mission Northwest and Olathe North, that's going to be a slugfest. But right now, the Cougars of Northwest up by 7, 14-7 over the Eagles of Olathe North. Olathe East 19, Shawnee Mission East 7. Olathe Northwest and Free State all tied up at 7 just before halftime. Olathe South and Shawnee Mission North tied up at 7 before halftime. Andy Walter out there at Shawnee Mission North for the Bison doing great work bringing that program back. We're going to go back to the action here at Mill Valley High School, 5:19 before half. The Jaguars have it, first and goal from the 1-yard line following an acrobatic All-American type catch by Preston Oliver. And as we see Hayden J, does he get in there? Yes, he does. Hayden J, touchdown, Mill Valley.
And no question about that one, him getting in, and they marked that one immediately. 5:15 left to go in this first half, and that is their 6th score, one of those being a safety. And I do appreciate how they have Hayden J as the holder, kind of a throwback to the old school NFL where they have the quarterback as the holder in case of a poor snap, or if they want to run a razzle-dazzle play, as you'll call it, Sean.
Indeed. 37-0 is your score with 5:15 left before halftime. And the Vikings of Shawnee Mission West have run into the proverbial buzzsaw that is the defending state champion, Mill Valley Jaguars. And quite frankly, it's been the Hayden J story, 3 touchdowns that Mr. J is responsible for. Over 5 yards per carry. He's getting it done through the air, 7 of 10 for 94 yards. But no bigger reception than we saw from Preston Oliver. What a great grab by the senior receiver. He had to stretch out for that one, but at the same time, you got to tip your hat to Hayden J because he had to throw that right in the breadbasket where only his receiver could catch it, and that's exactly what Preston Oliver did to put the Jaguars 1 yard away from their last 6 and the extra point. It's at 37-0, 5:15 left before half.
And, you know, you can't really even fault Emil Blaylock, who was in coverage on that one. That was just a near perfect catch and throw, and Blaylock was right there with him stride for stride, and they just made a fantastic connection, did the Jaguars.
Noah Gunyon and Brandon Wilson back again to do the return duties for West, and like last time, okay, they did. I didn't see the white hat over there. Going to be a touchback. Once again, they're going to start from their own 20-yard line. They have 5:15 left before halftime to try to get something going. And, anything could happen. That's why they play 4 quarters. But certainly things don't look great for the Vikings, the Shawnee Mission West right now. But you got to think if they can put just a little bit of something together, maybe get within striking distance before the end of the half. Just, some feel-good points there to give them a little bit of momentum going into the second half.
Absolutely. And when you've got 21 juniors and 25 sophomores on your varsity team, you're definitely in a rebuilding time.
And, you made a good point, and that's pretty much what Coach Callahan had talked about, as we see a handoff and tackled there by pretty much 10 Jaguar defenders. The only one that wasn't out there was Hudson Ivy, the 6'1" senior. Clocks are running, 4:50. The play clock starts moving. Beautiful night here in the Swamp. Glad you're with us on a10varsity.com. Bring you some other scoring highlights here at halftime. And off to the tailback, nothing doing. Probably lost about a half. I think maybe he got back to the original line of scrimmage. Going to bring up 3rd and 10. A net of 4 yards on the ground. In fact, I beg your pardon, after that run, you do some quick maths in my head. That would be total yards for the Vikings would be -14. -14. See what I did there? Just like my bank account, I can just do that so quickly. -14.
But if you could put your shoes back on, I would appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Nearly 200 yards offense, and he has stood up. Guess who? Noah Coy, a name we haven't mentioned yet. But certainly Noah Coy has made his presence felt, and no bigger hit than that one right there. The 5'11", 202-pound senior absolutely laid the wood. And I think they lost a couple of yards, depending on the spot. Yeah, they did. Another punting situation, 3:14 left before halftime, 37-0, all Mill Valley. All the time here. And that kick just got away, and it takes a nice Viking bounce. Got a Jaguar getting a little bit too close there. Mark Bauer, we see you, young man. Coaches will have a word with you. No good reason to be around that ball. But 2:52 left before halftime. We're going to keep it right here, and we'll have some stats. And like we said, some scoring updates at halftime. But a couple other area scores of interest. I can tell you that Derby and Salina South are in a battle. 35 points scored between both of those squads, all by Derby. 35-0 halftime score. Dodge City and Junction City all tied up at 7, but right now we're going to watch for the first time Daniel Blaine into the contest now for Mill Valley. And what a great opportunity for some of these underclassmen, and especially in these skill position players. Daniel Blaine, I think I saw him in Vegas. David Blaine.
Although that run was quite magical.
You took my segue. Come on now. I believe that is Sidney Lockhart. Sidney Lockhart, one of the fastest athletes out here. He's going to get the carry. Takes it between the tackles, down to the 25-24, make it 23-yard line. 2:23, clock stop, chains move, plenty of time for the Jaguars to put some more points on the board.
And they are just steadily marching down the field, picking up their 4th first down of this second quarter.
Let's see. Tate Nicola, the big 6'3", 178-pound senior here on the near side. Offset eye. Lockhart, a little bit of a bad snap, and not a lot of magic in that one, but Mr. Blaine is going to be brought down all the way back at the 35-yard line of the Vikings. And despite the struggles that the Vikings have had on offense, there's no question that you can point to this young team, this young Viking team, and there's been a couple of bright spots.
Absolutely.
The first time this year, Hayden Jay has been sacked, and he's been pressured more than a couple of times, but now with Daniel Blaine, the 5'9", 159-yard junior, hands it off to Lockhart, and he can turn on the jets. He lowers his shoulder and gets about another 3 yards. That young man is absolutely built like a brick house. You know what kind, but Cindy Lockhart, kind of reminiscent, wearing that number 20, like, here's a little trivia question for you, David Trimble. Number 20, the best NFL running back to wear number 20. We'll get back to that here in a second. Blaine hands off to Lockhart. He finds a hole. 10-5, touchdown. Sydney Lockhart, Mill Valley. We're going over 40, and it's not even halftime here at the Swamp.
And that was just, I don't think that was bad defense. I think that was just outstanding field vision. And he was able to make some cuts and then find some open space and turn on those afterburners.
But it's also a good time to pay credit to that offensive line, getting it done for the Jaguars to open up that hole for Sydney Lockhart. Extra point attempt is up, and it is good. We're double fours now, 44-0. 46 seconds left before halftime here in Western Shawnee at Mill Valley High School. The defending 5A state champs, showing why they are certainly the favorites in Class 5A once again. They are scoring at will. The defense is absolutely smothering. The negative 18 total yards for the Vikings are testament to that. After that last series by Mill Valley, let's see, some more quick math, 7-5, 267 yards of offense, and we're still not to halftime.
And that was an unfortunate series of events there for the Vikings because they had just, I believe that was Victor Gunyon and Rocco Bailey, maybe Chris Wade, had just driven them back for a loss, and then they made that difference up in about 2 plays, and they were able to get down for the touchdown, were the Mill Valley Jaguars.
If I told you that Mill Valley has accumulated 15 first downs, David Trimble, what would you say to that?
I would say that's not what I have, but it's entirely possible I missed 1 or 2.
I can tell you that the total is 17. 17 first half first downs by this Jaguar offense. Another touchback. Hitting Lawman, taking advantage of that southerly breeze of about 2 miles an hour, as you pointed out earlier, Mr. Trimble. Appreciate that. We look ahead to halftime. There's a number of area schools that are pretty tight matches going into their halftime on both sides of the state line. Lee Summit North 14, Staley 0. There's the score over there. 1st and 10 Vikings from their own 20. Late addition for the Jaguar defense now. Handoff. I believe that was number 24. Is that what you had there, Mr. Trimble?
That was Glorious Robinson, number 24. The senior getting the call on that ball carry.
Loss of 2 on the run brings up 2nd and 12. I'm not sure that the Vikings are in a real big hurry to get another snap off before halftime. But they're going to walk up to the line. It's about a 1.5 difference between the game clock and the play clock. They could let this run out without penalty 7-6, 5. Little run over the right guard. Maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage. And folks, that's going to do it for the first half of play. If we told you the score is 44-0, you might think, well, that's just another good Jaguar victory. But friends, we're at halftime. 44-0 behind 3 touchdowns by senior signal caller Hayden J. And an absolutely smothering defense, holding the Vikings to negative yardage in the first half, results in that 44-0 score. We're going to take a quick break and pay a couple of bills, and we'll be right back with some area scores, only right here on A10Varsity.com. Welcome back to the Swamp. I'm going to bring you up to speed on a few scores around the area. First on the Kansas side, as we said, Bishop Miege and Blue Valley Southwest. We're doing battle. Bishop Miege 21, Blue Valley Southwest 0 halftime score. The Tigers out of Blue Valley up by 14 over the Thunder from St. James, 21-7. Blue Valley West 7, Blue Valley North 0 halftime score. In fact, we're getting a couple of updates right now. I can tell you in that Olathe South and Shawnee Mission North game, Olathe South is currently holding on to a 1-point lead, 14-13 halftime score. Olathe North 21, Shawnee Mission Northwest, next week's opponent for these Jaguars in Mill Valley. Olathe North 21, Shawnee Mission Northwest 14. Olathe East 19, the Lancers over at Shawnee Mission East 7. Free State and Olathe Northwest, the Ravens now up by 7, 14-7 halftime score. Gardner Edgerton 28, Shawnee Mission South 6. Aquinas and Blue Valley Northwest, one of the marquee matchups. You can also watch that live on A10Varsity.com. But St. Thomas Aquinas 1-point lead at halftime over the Huskies, the reigning 6A state champs. 14-13. Blue Valley West, early in the third quarter, up over Blue Valley North now, 24-0. Blue Valley West, one of the top 5 teams in the A10 Varsity preseason poll. A lot of hopes and aspirations by that Jaguar team over Blue Valley West. They lost last week, but getting to the St. Thomas Aquinas, and not by just a little, but quite a bit. Getting back on track, 24-0 over Blue Valley North. Lansing and Shawnee Heights, 22, Lansing 7. Rick Pollard, the new coach up at Lansing, just up the road here. Lansing, Kansas, doing a great job, formerly of Piper. And before that, an assistant coach here for Coach Appleby and the Jaguars. DeSoto, fellow USD 232 school. 14, Washburn Rural 0. Updated score coming in now, Baser Linwood 17, Piper 10. I can tell you that Olathe East now is up by 12, 19-7 over Shawnee Mission East. The Bulldogs out of Baldwin High. taking on the Cyclones out of Ottawa. Ottawa's all over the Bulldogs, 35-6, third quarter score. Paola and Lewisburg, I'm going to tell you, they just build them a little bit different down there. There's some big bruisers down there in Paola and Lewisburg. But right now, the Wildcats of Lewisburg up by 14, 28-14 over the Panthers of Paola. Eudora over Bonner Springs, 35-0, halftime score. Topeka Seaman, 49, the Bears of Turner, the Golden Bears of Turner, 0, 49-0 on that one. Tell you a little bit further to the west. Junction City and Dodge City all tied up at 14. Liberal 20, Emporia 0. Derby now with a 55-6 lead over Salina South. That's in third quarter of action. Goddard 21, Valley Center 7. Arkansas City, Bulldogs 14, Andover 7. Andover Central and Mays doing battle. Halftime score, Andover Central keeping this one close. The defending 5A runner-up Mays Eagles 14. Andover Central 7. Hutch and Newton all tied up at 7. Hutch, one of the kind of surprise stories so far this season, all tied up with 7 with the Railers. May South 3, Hayesville Campus 0. Taking a peek over and one more area score. Atchison 26, Sumner Academy 8. Last night, or excuse me, 2 nights ago rather, it was the Lions of Lawrence besting the Owls of Olathe West 28-21. We started on the last drive over there. And in fact, Olathe West, Coach O'Neill, former kind of a protege of Coach Appleby here at Mill Valley. Looking across the state line, Lee Summit 28, Blue Springs 20. Park Hill 14, Blue Springs South 7, Lee Summit North 28, Staley 0. A little bit of a surprise there. Park Hill South 9, Lee Summit West 7. Rockhurst and Liberty North. That's another one that, we had a chance to see Rockhurst a couple of weeks ago, and they're all everything, Mr. Sprague, the 6'7", what is he, about 285-pound junior?
He was a very large young man.
Reef kind of came up a little bit late in the second half, and that did not help Rockhurst in their run game. But quick little anecdote, side story here about Rockhurst and Mr. Sprague. I asked him, tell me about your offers. Who are you getting interest from? And I said, what are the top teams? And he said, well, here from Nebraska, here from Stanford, and pretty much everybody else. So what does that mean? He said, well, I don't even really open all the letters because everybody's offering me. So certainly bodes well for his future playing on Saturdays.
Good problem to have, absolutely.
When did be? Belton 6, Fort Osage 0. Ray-Pec and Liberty. Liberty 14, Ray-Pec 13. Ray-Pec, not exactly known for their defensive prowess, but they got it done in week 1 and getting it done in week 3 here. I think last week they gave up close to 60, if I'm not mistaken. As we said, Park Hill South 9, Lee Summit West 7, Liberty North 7, Rockhurst 0. Belton 6, Fort Osage 0, Platte County 16, North KC 14, Oak Park 14, Green Valley 3. The Blue Jays of Raytown 22, St. Joe Central 13, Truman 26 over the Knights of Southeast 0. Van Horn 10, William Crispin 0. Michael Rose Ivy might be in for his first loss. His head coach over there, former Nebraska great. Winnetonka 7, Excelsior Springs 7. Kearney and Smithville going at it. Warriors out of Smithville up 7-0 at halftime. Center and Oak Grove, how about this one? 34-23 early in the third. First one to 70 wins that one. Harrisonville 21, Pleasant Hill 14. And I can tell you that Warrensburg is up by 17 over Sedalia, 17-0. About 10 minutes left before we see the teams get back on the field. We're going to step away. We're going to water the tongue here just a little bit, and we'll be back with some halftime stats and let you enjoy the pride of Mill Valley High, the marching Jaguar Band, right here on A10Varsity.com.
Bryce Jennings, son of Sarah and Bo Jennings. After high school, Bryce plans to study pastoral ministry or business.
I've only had 3. What are you talking about? Welcome back to the Swamp. 44-0 is your score. Mill Valley over Shawnee Mission West. The Vikings taking on a lot of water here in the first half. Just really struggling to get anything going on offense. And the defense as well. You know, there's just not a lot of good right now for the Vikings. We'll see how they come out and start the second half. Gives us a chance right now while the teams are finishing up their halftime calisthenics. A couple of games of interest. Once again, Aquinas 14, Blue Valley Northwest 13, Blue Valley West 24, Blue Valley North 0. St. James and Blue Valley. St. James working their way back. 21-14 Tigers over the Thunder. Mission Miege having their way with the Timberwolves of Blue Valley Southwest 35-0. Baser, Linwood, and Piper. Favor of Baser right now, 17-10. The Falcons of Olathe South 14, Shawnee Mission North 13. Olathe North 21, Shawnee Mission Northwest 14. As we said, next week's Mill Valley opponent, the Cougars out of Shawnee Mission Northwest, coming into the Swamp. I think it's going to be homecoming for these Jaguar students as well. 154, 153 until we start the second half. I'll tell you that DeSoto 14, Washburn Rural 7, Shawnee Heights 29, Lansing 7, Leavenworth 41, Topeka West 14, Seaman 49, Turner 0. Eudora 42, Blue Springs 0. Wildcats out of Lewisburg 28, Paola 14, Ottawa 42, Bulldogs of Baldwin 14, Spring Hill 10, Tonganoxie 6, Manhattan 42 over the Trojans of Topeka Highs 0. Topeka back-to-back buzzsaws. They did battle last Saturday against Avery Johnson and the Maize Eagles. I believe they shut it down when the score was about 70-7. But it wasn't even that close. Sumner and Atchison still going at it. Atchison now pulling out to a 26-14 lead. Goddard 21, Valley Center 7. Goddard, Eisenhower, and Salina Central all knotted up at 13s. Andover 26, Arkansas City 14. Mays 20, Andover Central 14. The Jaguars of Andover Central hanging tough with the defending 5A state runner-up Eagles. Hutch and Newton still all knotted up at 7 in the third quarter. May South 3, Hayesville Campus 0, and Derby 55, Salina South 6. 274 total yards of offense by Mill Valley in that first half. 17 first downs. Only no turnovers for Mill Valley, only one for the Vikings. Penalties evenly matched. 3 penalties for 40 yards against Mill Valley, 4 penalties for 30 yards against the Vikings. Total offensive yardage for the Vikings, negative 18. They did have 1 first down. That was early in the first quarter. Or was that early? Did they have 2? David Trimble's shown me the number 1, or no, that wasn't the number 1. That's something totally different. But passing yards 0 for the Vikings, 94 for Mill Valley, and 163 yards on the ground behind Tristan Baker and Sidney Lockhart. Some individual stats for both of these squads. I can tell you that, the leading rusher for the Vikings, Brody Spring, 3 attempts, 4 yards, 1.3 average. Everything else is in the negatives. Cortez Velasco, big number 99. He's doing it with his leg. 4 punts, 131 yards, averaging over 32 yards a punt. And kicking off once again, Mill Valley, going from left to right on your screen. Kitten Lawman. What a great name that is. What if he's going to go to law enforcement? Kitten Lawman, 6'3" junior. Nice kick, going to be fielded around the 10-yard line. I think that was, and they're going to say.
I think they're going to say his knee touched the ground. My goodness.
They will, and we do have a running clock. We Just got the notification that they will run the clock here for the rest of this contest. And why wouldn't you? 44-0 as we just start the third quarter here. Jaguars up big over the Vikings.
And you like to see Mill Valley, the sportsmanship. They won the coin toss and they deferred to the second half, and then they went ahead and kicked off the ball to give the Vikings a chance to get their offense going.
Gotta love that. Respect right there. 1st and 10 from their own 6-yard line for the Vikings. They're just trying to get whatever they can right now. Student body forward. Might have got a couple of yards on that one. First positive yardage they've had, and let's see, 12 offensive plays, I believe. Yardage of more than 1 yard.
And we'd like to see them get themselves a little bit of space with the run game and then see if they can get something going in the air. They did not attempt a pass play in the second quarter.
2nd and 6 for the Vikings, still deep in their own territory. 4-yard pickup on that first down carry. Jaguars showing blitz, coming right through the middle. Right through and Mill Valley saying that the ball came loose and they think they have it. And they do. A huge turnover for Mill Valley deep in the Viking own territory. Maybe around the 8-yard line. Jaguars are going to have it 1st and 10. Up by 44 points. Looking to add to it here. We'll see what offensive crew that Coach Appleby and company sends out. Daniel Blaine took over the signal caller duties toward the end of the first half for Mill Valley. And he is going to be back out there. I think that's Marion Graves as well, the 5'10 senior running back, immediately behind Blaine. Twin receivers to the near side. 2 tight end look. Hand off to Graves. Graves gets around the corner and into the end zone. A Marion Graves touchdown, Mill Valley.
And limiting the mistakes was a focus. Tim Callahan was trying to emphasize to those Vikings, and they got to be holding on to the ball a little bit better. It's only their second turnover, but this one has proven to be costly.
6 total touchdowns on the ground for the Jaguars. So Wade Lohman's extra point attempt. Kick is up. And the kick is good. Make it 51-0. 9:38 left to go here in the third quarter. It is all Jaguars here in the Swamp. And even with the running clock, it only took the Jaguars, what did it take them? 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Yes, something like that. Mill Valley is now spread the ball around to, looks like about 10 different Jaguars on offense. Sidney Lockhart leading all rushers. 5 carries, 75 yards. And a score, Tristan Baker picked up where he left off last week. Found the end zone twice. 7 attempts for 56 yards, 8-yard average. Hayden Jay, 5 carries, 26 yards. Aaron Graves, you saw just with that touchdown. 7 rushing touchdowns. All the touchdowns for Mill Valley coming on the ground. Of course, they have that safety halfway through the first quarter. I think it was at about a 7-0 mark at the, no, I think it was what, 14-0, David?
It was, and they got that safety with 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
I think we just said this a couple of minutes ago, but Lawman will be kicking off for the Jaguars. Back deep. Wilson and Gunyon once again going to let that one go, and Vikes are going to go try it again from their own 20-yard line. First play in their first drive of the second half netted them 4 yards, but then they turned the ball over, resulting in another Jaguar touchdown. This one by Marion Graves. Good to see a lot of the underclassmen get some playing time for both of these squads. Certainly a treat for all them, for the underclassmen that don't necessarily see the field a lot. Just a nice little kind of a bonus for their hard work and practice. 1st and 10. We have a new quarterback in now. I believe that's number 22. David, number 22.
Aaron Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez. Okay. That's all we're going to say about that. Aaron Hernandez, number 22, in for Iverson Norwood. Mr. Hernandez, I believe, is a junior.
Sophomore.
In fact, he is a sophomore. Mr. Hernandez, twin receivers to the near side. Single back set for the Vikings. Full back to the left of the quarter. 8:04 left to play here in the third. Rolling out again is Hernandez, and he's got a little bit of room. Hernandez past the 40. He's into Jaguar territory. Pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line of Mill Valley. 1st and 10 Vikings, and the change of signal callers results in the biggest play that the Vikings have shown all evening here in Western Shawnee.
And that is Tyler Seeger, the 5'10 sophomore.
We are going to our notes here. Tyler Seeger, number 27, I believe it is.
Yes, sir.
Tyler Seeger now in a quarterback. Twin receivers to the top of your screen. Man in motion. Ziegler under pressure, gets it away. He's got a receiver, and somehow he bobbles it, but brings it in. Great concentration by the receiver out there. Who are they going to give the credit to there, David? Do you have a...
Davis Robinson.
Davis Robinson.
On the catch. And out there to block for him was Brody Spring for the Vikings.
And folks, don't go anywhere. The score is 51-0, but these Vikings are driving.
And it looks like Jaden Keller might need a little bit of attention. Looked like he might have maybe had something with his toe. So he does come off for this play.
Running clock here in the third quarter, 6:24, 6:23 left. 1st and 10 Vikings from the 25-yard line of Mill Valley. Handoff up the middle, nothing doing.
Glorious Robinson trying to dance his way, and he's not able to pick up any yardage.
Number of new Mill Valley faces we can see on the defensive line now. Get you an update on some of these athletes on both sides of the ball. 5:44 left in the third. 51-0, Mill Valley over Shawnee Mission West. Kind of a hard count there. Handoff, left side, found a little bit of hole. Gain of about 5, maybe 6.
Noah Gunyon on that carry doing dual duty as the kickoff return man and running back, getting some positive yardage there. Brings up 3rd and short.
3rd and 4, how about that for the Vikings? Long run there to start things off on their second drive of this second half. Two tight end set, I formation, full back, right behind Tyler. He's going to roll out to his right. He's got a receiver. He's going to keep it himself. He's got the first down. And right now, Shawnee Mission West is going to have a 1st and 10 from right around the 12-yard line. All right, the 14-yard line. Tyler Seeger. A big pitch and catch earlier. 1 for 1 for 11 yards. I believe that's a perfect quarterback rating. But Not only is he getting it done through the air, it's really his legs and that 48-yard scamper to get him in scoring position here and into the red zone. Nice tackle there. I think that was 43 for Mill Valley. That was Austin Klein, defensive back. 5'8", 163-pound junior. 2nd and 7. Running clock, 3:47, 3:46. Plenty of fans still in the stands here on both sides. Estimated attendance tonight, we've been told, 3,716 people here at Jaguar Stadium. 7 on the play clock, gets it off in plenty of time. Under pressure, and somehow he gets away to Ziegler, and now he's going to scamper for a first down and a little bit more. 1st and goal, Shawnee Mission West behind I tell you what, the fleet of foot, Tyler Ziegler. Are they going to bring this one back? Let's see. No, they won't. They're going to pick up that laundry on the other side of the field. But 1st and goal, the Jaguars have yet to give up a single point on the year, but the Vikings of Shawnee Mission West are looking to spoil that perfect 0-point total for the defense.
And Ryan Deverill was so close to bringing him down on that last play.
1st and goal from the 3. 3, 2 on the play clock. Gets it off in time. Handoff. Going to the left side. Cut back. Loss of about 2 on the play. Ball's on the turf, but I believe the whistle had sounded. No indication. They will say that the Vikings retain possession. They're going to mark the ball right at the 5-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 5. Vikings 5 yards away from putting some points on the board. And that's, if you're a Viking faithful and looking at the effort of these underclassmen here, there's no question the future is bright for this program. Ziegler now with 4 attempts, 61 yards, averaging 15 yards a carry. He's going to keep it himself, pushing student body forward. He's in for the touchdown. Tyler Ziegler.
And Jace Morales getting the big push down there on the line to give him some room, and he just followed his big lineman right into the end zone.
And it's great to see over on the far side the student body of Shawnee Mission West. Well represented over there. They are extremely happy that they have points on the board and spoiling the shutout here against the 2nd and 3rd teamers of the Jaguars. Mill Valley giving up their first touchdown on the season. And Big O Cortez. Is that Cortez in for the extra point?
Absolutely it is.
And why wouldn't you? And the kick is up, and it is good. Make it 51-7 now in favor of the Jaguars. But you're down by 51 points, David Trimble. And to come out with that energy and that excitement, and you saw the kids on the far sideline jumping up and down after that long run by Seeger. I mean, that points to good coaching. Not letting the players get too far down and just really giving them the motivation and the encouragement to do the great things that they just did. That's certainly great to see.
Absolutely. And Coach Callahan was saying that. He was saying that these kids are ready and willing to learn. They just need to get the reps. They need to get the opportunity. And those linemen, Jace Morales, Logan Frakowick, and Jose Ruiz, getting that push, allowing him to get into the end zone was huge. You got to love the heart of these kids. That you couldn't tell them that the scoreboard said 51-0 just a second ago.
And let's be clear about one thing. When we talk about the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th stringers of this Jaguar defense, there's not a huge drop-off. We got some big boys that are hitting the gym every morning at whatever time it is, 6:30, 6:35, and they're working out 4 days a week to get bigger and stronger, and you can see that out on the field.
And they are the defending champions, so there's not a whole lot of dead weight on the defending champions team.
Dead weight. Andy Watts back with, let's see, who do we have? Is that Mr. Lockhart? See if we maybe see razzle-dazzle here by the kickoff team. We do know that they have an onside kick play, but that's not going to be shown there. Watts lets that one go. It's going to bounce all the way back to the 5. Watts out to the 10, 15, puts a move on, cuts back, gets it back to the 20-yard line, maybe out to the 21 for a first down. Mill Valley on the 21-yard line with 1:15 running clock, 1:13 left here in the third quarter.
And coach has got to be happy. The Vikings coach, that is, has got to be happy with the coverage on that. They did not get, it was a little bit of a miscue by Mill Valley, and he was able to get it back, but they did not break it open for huge yardage.
A little music trivia. Who's that playing in the background?
Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath.
Oh, well done. And Black Sabbath, yes. Not just Ozzy.
Well,
yeah.
He's the singer, but
Sure.
I believe at that time it was Black Sabbath.
Well done.
We never did get back to the greatest running back to wear the number 20.
Oh, we're going to get back to that here in a second. Hand off to Lockhart, or excuse me, is that a Marion Grays or is that Sidney Lockhart?
Things getting a little trippy down there.
A little bit.
Monty Evans, I believe.
That is TJ Caffey. TJ's the 5'8 senior. One of those kind of the scat back type. Call, that's going to be a costly penalty, and that's just one of those unnecessary and one of those frustration type of fouls by the Viking defense. Bring you a couple of scoring updates here in a moment. But as we see the yardage marked off, results in a first down for Mill Valley. They're going to switch ends of the field as we go into the fourth quarter. 51-7 is your score. Mill Valley over Shawnee Mission West. And you were watching it live right here on 810varsity.com. Hey, how about that? Cameraman extraordinaire, Mr. Jeff Broadbent. I bet he can get us a picture of that beautiful harvest moon up in the evening sky here. And East Kansas. How about that shot? Look at that. The cinematography here on a10varsity.com is absolutely unmatched. Hats off to Mr. Broadbent. Always does a great job. Great to have him back here with us. A10 Varsity.
And it's good to see Matt Wise. Looked like he got a stinger in his left arm. He's able to come off on his own power.
And of all the people in the stand, the one person that I notice right now is this young lady down at the end of the stairs. I think she has Krispy Kreme donuts. Somehow my eyes just caught a glimmer of that box. Catch a glimmer of this Mill Valley offense here. Another great run by Mr. Caffey, pushing the paw forward, enough for a first down. 10:04, 10:03, almost under 10 minutes to play here. In this contest, 51-7 is your score. I'll give you a couple of area scoring updates, teams of note. A lot of great matchups throughout the region. You can find all those scores right on a10varsity.com. Scoring update, Blue Valley and St. James. Blue Valley up by 7, 28-21, fourth quarter score. Blue Valley West holding steady, 24-0 over the Mustangs of Blue Valley North. Aquinas up by 8 over Blue Valley Northwest. Another hard run by Mr. Caffey.
And Jaden Williams, number 40 on Shawnee Mission West, met him with some authority. So these West Vikings have absolutely not given up. They are still playing their hearts out, and they are still making the plays that they need to make.
DeSoto 21, Washburn Rural 7. Baser 17, Piper 16. Shawnee Mission North, the Bison, formerly the Indians of Shawnee Mission North, 21. The Falcons of Olathe South, 14. And how about that? Freaked out everybody, faked out everybody. That's Daniel Blaine. Just like his father out in Vegas. Mr. David Blaine. It was magical, but talk about an optical illusion. Here I'm reading scores. I look up and I see all the players down on one side, but there's Mr. Blaine on the far side of the field taking it in for another 6 points. How about that? Nice little end zone shot by Hayden Kilo down there. Doing some great work on the camera as well. And the kick is up. It did go through the uprights, but I think they're going to say that the defense was a little bit jumpy. Well, because that kick happened, well, what are you going to do here? I was going to say, did they just, I don't think they can do that.
Well, if it was on the defense, if they would be able to decline the penalty, but the kicking team looked like they wanted to come off.
But the kick the kick went off after the whistle blew. So it was a dead play before the ball left the ground. And we're going to redo it. This time it's official. Make it 58. 58-7. Shout out Christian Roth, a great Mill Valley great, wearing the number 58. Also doing great things down there in Pittsburgh, Kansas, Pitt State University. Pitt State, that's a up-and-coming program, getting back to the glory days. Early 2000s, they knocked off a real tough number 12 ranked University of Nebraska at Kearney. Lopers last night. Last second touchdown gave them the victory. They move on to 2-0. We got a lot of great football in this area. We've got Baker University and Benedictine, Mid-America Nazarene, Mill Valley Jaguars. So they keep scoring like they do. You can almost mention these Jaguars in the same breath as a lot of these small schools around here.
Avila
University.
They have a fantastic cheer program to go along with their football program.
Love their shoes. It's great. 58-7. Fourth quarter, 8:40. We will resume the running clock here momentarily. Said next week, these Jaguars are going to be right back here in the Swamp, taking on the Cougars of Shawnee Mission Northwest. Shawnee Mission Northwest coming in a top 15 preseason A-10 varsity pole sitter. Hey, speaking of pole, the Italian Grand Prix is this weekend.
That is
Practice.
definitely exciting. See if somebody can get the pole position.
Indeed, practice session 3 in qualies tomorrow.
We've got
F1
Jason
Network.
Knoll back for the Vikings. And Brandon Wilson is retaining his position.
Just kind of a little pooch kit there. It's going to be taken to the 30 and going the wrong way and all the way back to the 25. It's the up back for the Vikings.
It was Stephen King.
Stephen King and except Cujo. You know, speaking of dogs, we've got a friend of the broadcast here. Of course, we have Jeff Broadbent up on the press box doing great work. But his son Justin is the proud papa of about, gosh, I don't even know, 12 St. Bernard puppies. Talk about adorable. These certainly are.
That sounds like the starting of a movie.
Like, what is it? Is it Beethoven? Is that one of them?
First, second, third, fourth, fifth.
Yeah. So anybody out there that's looking to acquire is number 24 for
Glorious Robinson
yes,
on
it
that
was
carry.
Glorious Robinson. But wouldn't it be glorious to own a little St. Bernard puppy? If you're interested in one of those, you can reach out to Mr. Jeff Broadbent at Performance Glass out in Linwood, Kansas, just west of Bonner Springs. They do great work. Commercial, residential, more commercial than residential, but they'll talk to you about whatever project you may have coming up. And if you're someone that may be looking to change your career or looking to, maybe even start one, that's certainly a company that you could reach out to. They're always looking for good quality folks. Hand off there to, the ball is on the turf, and the Jaguars come up with it once again. 6:34 left in the running clock, fourth quarter. Scores 58-7, but the Jaguars have a chance to increase that lead. Still plenty of Jaguar faithful here, and as well the Viking faithful on the far side of the field. We're here to witness that big turnover play in favor of the Jaguars. As we see Jeff Broadbent giving some love to the Shawnee Mission West Viking faithful over there in the stands, right in front of the championship banners that greet you as you come down Jaguar Way. I think that's the name of the street. There was talk about renaming it to the
Brewer Boulevard?
No, not at all.
Unfortunately.
But the Broadbent Broadway, we'll see. As we see the ball carrier stepped out of bounds right around the 5-yard line.
I think that might have been Connor Bowen.
Might have been. Kind of hard to see from way up here, but you know what isn't too hard, and that is to reach out to the good people at Precision Glass up in Linwood, Kansas. Like I said, if you're a hard worker and not afraid to roll up the sleeves and learn a new trade, they would absolutely love the opportunity to visit with you. You can find them. I don't know if you can find them online, but right now the Jaguars have once again found the end zone. This one, I think was that Jaden Scobie?
Jaden Scobie.
Jaden Scobie, the 6', 188-pound junior, finds the end zone for his first career touchdown as a Jaguar. Score right now, 64-7, pending the extra point. And 1 moment.
And the kick is up and good.
Performance. Did I just say precision? Precision class? I don't think there is a precision class, but I can tell you that there's a performance class, more importantly. Performance class. Performance. We've seen one heck of a performance out of these.
With precision.
Maybe they do. Yeah, maybe so. But I can tell you that performance class would love to have a conversation with you if you're you're an able-bodied person looking for maybe a career change or just to learn a trade. Maybe you're retired at 23 after you hit the lottery or come into a lot of money and just think, you know what, I'm looking for, an honest day's work and an honest day's pay. There's no better folks to reach out to than the Broadbents at Performance Glass, and you can reach them at 913-441-1290. It's 913-441-1290 Performance Glass. And when you call them, just tell them that Alex's dad sent you. Performance Glass, equal opportunity employer, member FDIC.
And it looks like we've got Aiden Stanley checking the weather to get the kickoff.
The weather is dark and 78.
Those flags are still hanging straight down.
The lead flags, let's be clear about that. The lead flags on the flagpole adjacent to the concession stands here. They're going to let that one, and why wouldn't you let that one just kind of dribble out of bounds? It's going to give them an extra little boost. Going to be the best field position that these Shawnee Mission West Vikings have had all evening.
And Emil Blaylock, he had his hands behind his back on that one. Coach has taught him well. Do not touch that ball if it's getting ready to go out of bounds.
65-7. Jaguars not getting a shutout, but they are going to get the victory to move to 2-0 on the season. Top the Sunflower Conference and currently ranked in the top 5 of the A-10 varsity top 25 poll. Hand off, little misdirection, kind of almost a counter. He has stood up there, kind of got caught from behind and almost sandwiched from the front. Good to see that young man pop right back up.
Kobe Cook put a hit on him at the end of that run that I definitely felt up here, Sean. I'm not sure about you.
Kobe Cook, the younger brother of David Cook, the singer of American Idol fame.
Kansas City native.
Kansas City native. This information that I'm being handed by David Trimble, I'm not sure if it's accurate, but just reporting what I've been told. 2nd and 2. Hand off left side. It was 2nd and 2. It's going to be about 3rd and 4. Maybe 3rd and 5.
Connor Wood in on that tackle.
Now's a great opportunity for us to wish a couple of people that we've heard from this evening a very happy birthday. Linda Trimble. Not sure if she's related to you, David Trimble, but Linda Trimble hit the big 5-0 today. Happy birthday, Linda Trimble. Of course, Linda Roth turned 61 yesterday. I'm sure a belated happy birthday. If you know Linda, reach out to her. And being pressured. How about that? Number 44. Abrima Sabali, 6'1", 174 pounds. Where's number 44? And that might have been his 40 speed, 4.4, because he came out of nowhere, tracked down the ball carrier, and brought him down for a loss. That was a great athletic play right there. Young man might have just earned himself a little more playing time in the future.
And Tyler Seeger filling in on quarterback. He just could not get away from the pursuit of a host of Jaguars. What is the plural of Jaguars?
That would be a kitchen.
A kitchen of...
Oh, there was a little miscommunication there by everybody involved, I think. I'm going to say that a timeout is being taken by the Vikings of Shawnee Mission West. 65-7 is your score. 1:51 left to play in regulation. Well, you know what? It might also be a real good time to mention a couple other things now that I think about it. You know, if you're someone that is looking for just a real good opportunity, and this isn't, some sort of like one of those Amway or Malaluka opportunities. This is a good
pyramid scheme.
It is not. I can tell you that the pyramid scheme, they don't know what the definition of that is at Performance Glass.
Well, they work with precision.
Will they work with precision? Okay, I see what you did there. That's exactly right. Performance Glass, you can reach them again at 913-441-1290. 913-441-1290. The best running back in NFL history to wear number 20 was Barry Sanders. If there was somebody else that came to mind, you're wrong. But what has been right tonight are these Jaguars offensively and defensively, and we see another one. Who is that number 44? Abraham Sabali. Is that Oh my gosh.
Ibrahima
Sabali. What a coming out party for that young man.
Absolutely.
He's going to be blowing up on some recruiting radars after this display of athleticism.
I know. If only the play-by-play guy could get his name right.
Hey, at least I didn't say Jaden Hay like I did last week. But,
Jaden Hay.
Jaden Hay.
Flip that, reverse it, play it again. As we're coming up on 1 minute to go in this contest.
Mill Valley not done yet. Handoff coming toward us. That's number 45. He's got some room in front of him. You have to look at her. That is Kai Jigen. If you know that name, or if you think that name sounds familiar, you're exactly right. The younger brother of Christian Jigen, the former Mill Valley great, went up and did some great things in Northern Iowa. Colton Jigen, class of 2021. Another one of the Jaguar greats here. Shout out to Sean Jigen and Gorilla Construction.
And it looks like they are going to
move the
victory formation.
Indeed it will. And that's going to, yes. They will as the clock ticks down. 8-7-6. Jaguar Nation going to celebrate a huge victory tonight. 65-7 over the upstart Vikings to Shawnee Mission West. And, again, I think it's important that I'm not exactly sure what the commotion is here. David Trimble, he's dancing like not sure what, like a Las Vegas dance girl, perhaps?
Like one of those inflatable things at a car dealership?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. The inflatable things at a car dealership. 65-7. You know what? I think we're just going to leave it right there for Jeff Broadbent and Hayden Kelo and David Trimble and yours truly, Sean Brewer. We appreciate you joining us here on A10Varsity.com tonight. We'll be back with you next week right here in the Swamp for a Mill Valley and Shawnee Mission Northwest battle, a 5A versus 6A Sunflower League battle right here on A10Varsity.com.